Stop what you're doing. Let's talk about some of TV's most fashionable moms. For our first mom, I had to throw it back to one of my favorite TV shows as a child, Lisa Landry, mom to Tia, the favorite twin, and fashion designer. One thing that I loved about Lisa is that her clothing always matched her personality. She always had on a print, she always had on a bright color, nothing just black and boring and mundane. The hair was always lifted to the heavens. She always had on that lipstick, the face was beat. And her designs reminded me if like Todd Oldham, Jeremy Scott, and maybe like Heatherette had a baby. Her dresses definitely were, she wasn't afraid to take it there. Next up is gonna be the dark-skinned Aunt Viv. The reason why I love Aunt Viv is because she's so pulled up, so sophisticated, but she had that sass to her too. And I think that it was indicative in her wardrobe. I already know her trailer was probably full of Chanel, Lord Piana, St. John, all the knit suits and separates that you could think of. She always looked chic, tailored to perfection. It was always a pop of color, and it was fun. And even though she was super covered, she never looked like it never gave old lady. So I always liked that. This is a great example of you can be classic, you can be sophisticated, but you can still have that flair about yourself. And I'm glad we got that type of representation on TV when I was growing up. Peggy Bundy, the hair. The hair is like a whole nother episode in itself. But the tight clothing, the belt to cinch the waist, is always the emphasis on the body. She always had that bright red lipstick on, always had an earring. She always had an accessory. That is something that I loved about Peggy Bundy's style, is that even though it leaned on the side of tacky, she was always together. And I could never just see Peggy Bundy in like jeans and a t-shirt. It would be like, are you feeling okay today? And last but not least is Carmela Soprano. Now her style to me is like classic like Aunt Viv, but it has some of the sexiness and color that Lisa Landry had in her wardrobe. She always had on her jewelry, diamonds, the tennis necklaces, but she always had on a suit. I know that she probably shopped at St. John too. I think her and Aunt Viv met up for like shopping trips or something. She always had on a nice brooch. Her thing was she always wanted you to know that she had money. And when she walked into the room, literally from head to toe, we knew that. So make sure you drop down in the comments and tell me who was your favorite TV mom and if you agreed with my picks. Happy Mother's Day. Bye.